Okay, it's time to throw some uppercuts! This is my favorite punch. This is really fun, but also the punch where most people go horribly wrong. And the reason is that they don't understand what we talked about at the beginning, why we do what we do. So what is the role of the feet? How do we use our hips? These are the basics. This is what I told you is going to be the game changer, and especially when it comes to the uppercut. So, the uppercut goes up. It's aimed at the chin, right? So, where am I supposed to face my hips? Yes, up. So in order to do that, I don't actually need to twist my foot as much as I would for a cross or a hook, because that turns my hip to the side. What I want to do is lift it up. So I lift my heel in order to lift my hip. And this is gonna launch my fist straight up. Okay? And that's all I need to do. And if I do this, there's absolutely no reason for digging. We'll talk about digging later with the mistakes. So as I launch my fist up, using my hip, I will twist my hand so that on the impact, my palm is facing me. So I really want to screw it in. At the same time, I lift up that right shoulder. So this is going to protect me if I miss. My palm is facing me on the impact. My knuckles land on the chin. And my hips are facing up. And then I hit the rewind button and come back. And that's your uppercut. It's very simple, right? Yet everybody gets it wrong. The same applies for the left uppercut. Left hip is pointing up and I launch my fist. I twist it as I go and I stop myself in front. I hit the rewind button and come back into my guard. So let's talk about digging. The most common mistake when it comes to uppercuts, this is what people do. They throw it from somewhere there. This is what I call digging. So they dig it up from the floor from there. This is not what you're gonna do, right? You know it better by now. From your chin to your opponent's chin, and there's no counter movement. So the uppercut does not go down. The uppercut only goes up. As soon as I let it down, I'm in danger here. So from my chin, using my hips, I launch it only up, and then I come back, and that's all I need to do. I can get a lot of power here using my hips without doing any digging. Another mistake that I sometimes see is similar to what happens with the hooks. When people don't stop themselves when their target should be, but they spiral all the way somewhere out of the ring, right? And this happens with the uppercut as well. Instead of stopping themselves where the target should be, your opponent's chin, they go all the way up somewhere there. An uppercut can be thrown at a different range. It can be very short if your opponent is close. It can be long as well, especially with the left one. It can be a very long punch. But either way, your opponent is in front of you. He's not somewhere there. This is not where I'm aiming for, right? I'm also not aiming somewhere to the side. My opponent is not there. He's right in front of me. So make sure you have that target in front of you. That's where you aim your uppercut, and you stop yourself, whether you land it or not, and then you hit the rewind button. Same with the left. It's going to be very short if you just throw it from here, bam, doesn't matter. Then you hit the rewind button, and you come back. Up. So if it's this simple, where do most people go wrong? Well, they just don't know how to use their hips. So either they don't use them at all, so they just dig, or they try to pivot, turning their hips horizontally while throwing the punch vertically, making Isaac Newton roll in his grave. Like, that's not gonna work. Okay? You're throwing the punch upwards, you want your hip up. If you're throwing your punch horizontally, then you want your hips turning to the side. Okay? This is what you need to do, why we do what we do.